Hello.
Hello. Saying and not doing?
Saying and not doing? Who would do that?
I don't know.
Oh my
Me,
goodness.
probably. I
No.
have probably done many times. Sorry.
I think we all
Us
do it
humans.
eventually.
Humans. Yes, yes, yes.
It happens.
Matthew 23.
Woe to the scribes and Pharisees.
Oh boy.
Oh
So we
boy, is
know
it right.
correction's coming. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Then Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that they observe and do, but do not do according to their works. For they say and do not do. For they bind heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do to be seen by men. They make their
Well,
phylactery phylacteries
I know.
phylacteries.
I can't help you because I don't know that I know.
I think it's phylacteries.
Like,
But we're gonna
like,
make them broad and enlarge the borders of their garments, so they're gonna be given more, whatever they are.
or like power, maybe. Or uh, like philanthropy. Philanthropy.
Phylacteries.
Yeah, phylacteries and things. So, oh, so they are reading from the word, and that part's good. But the part that's not good is they're not doing it. They're not doing any of the things they're saying they're doing. Right?
Right. But all their works they do.
The dogs are running back and forth playing. So in case you sound like there's animals running back and forth, there is.
There
they're
isn't.
having great fun.
Yeah. Let me just
So
keep
that's it.
reading.
Oh yes, and I'm gonna try to look up that word too.
Oh,
But
the
yes,
phylacteries.
yeah.
Okay. They love the best places at the feasts, the best seats in the synagogues, greetings in the marketplaces, and to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But you do not be called Rabbi, for one is your teacher, the Christ, and you are all brethren. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father, he who is in heaven. And do not be called teachers, for one is your teacher, the Christ. But he who is great amongst you shall be your servant.
Hmm.
And whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbled himself will be exalted. All right, you find it?
I did, and it's so totally not what I thought. So it's a small letter. It's a small letter box containing Hebrew text on vellum, worn by Jewish men at morning prayer as a reminder to keep the law.
Okay.
So small letter box with scripture passage and traditional worn on the left arm and the head of the Jewish men during morning prayer. So they must be physically making them bigger than they need to be so that it
So
looks like they're more important or whatever, or more reminder. They're supposed to be a reminder, right? Or
so he's
thing.
saying listen to them, but only what they do. So
No,
regardless of what they say, you need only listen to what they do.
no, but I think he's saying the opposite because they're not doing the right thing, but they're
The
saying the right,
Pharisees and the
right.
Sadducees are
They're
not doing what they're teaching.
right. They're teaching correctly, but they're not doing it.
Right.
So,
But they're teaching the wrong thing anyways. So don't listen to what they're telling you unless you're doing it.
right. Some of the stuff maybe it sounds good. And give me just 1 second here. I just have to pause for a second.
All right. If you don't mind if we can do a little recap.
All right, sounds good.
Um, we were reading before. Like
Yeah.
in the beginning, they're setting up. So
where
they're
they're,
just setting up the example of,
yes, of doing things, of saying things and not doing what you're saying, what you're making the people do.
right,
They're putting heavy burdens on the people, but they're not able to even move their finger, right? I mean, the example of lift that big rock over there, and then they don't even lift a teeny little pebble in
right.
a way, in a
It's
visual.
almost as if they became the Pharisees and Sadducees, like maybe not for the right reasons.
Yeah, maybe, or else they got
Because,
stuck in the power or
well,
the
because
look of
like
it.
in five just kind of solidifies the previous verses, but then in six, it's like they like the best places at the
Yeah,
parties, they're at the
they like the power,
marketplaces,
the
they like being
prestige.
called rabbi.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
they like
like,
ride the title, and yeah.
mm, and do not be called teachers, for one is your teacher, the Christ.
Oh
Is he
man,
referring to himself or is he referring
yes.
to?
No,
Okay.
no, I think he's talking about himself. Yes, I
But
think
he
so.
who is greatest amongst you shall be your servant, which he had previously talked about. But
It's
Paul
a
also talking about
well,
himself.
well, yeah, help us to be a good servant. Mm,
Right. Or the reason you would be a servant.
yeah,
But yeah.
servant of Jesus, you know.
And whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbled himself will be exalted. But
Yes.
woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites,
Oh,
for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For you neither go in yourselves, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. Oh no, they're being gatekeepers.
of, and this is the kingdom of heaven, right? Where
You
you
can't
shut
be a
up.
gatekeeper of the kingdom of heaven, can you?
I mean, is he saying it in like this is what they think they are? Is that what he's saying?
Maybe
Not
they
technically,
unconsciously act as that. Because then they're
right?
like, well, you're not holy enough to get in.
So they cannot go in themselves because they're not doing it right, but they're not allowing other people to go in because they're not teaching them correctly.
Right.
So
So
now
then,
they're like, it's a double thing, right?
is that like you're setting unrealistic expectations and people aren't achieving it, so they give up? Or is that you're just teaching them the wrong things?
I know.
Because, like,
Or
in
they
the
putting
first part, it
too much.
would suggest that they weren't necessarily teaching the wrong things.
Right, it did seem like that. But then did they
They
add
were
extra?
just, they just weren't leading by example.
Right. I mean, four is interesting because it does say they bind heavy burdens hard to bear and lay them on. So are they making them a little harder than they need to be? Are they
Well,
really strict?
they're probably just reading the rules as they had once, read them
Yeah.
before, but they eventually, because of how they felt about their position,
Yeah. So
who
then they're
knows?
messing it up by their example for sure, aren't they?
I think. Because
So
then once you stop
and
doing it, you're like, well, I don't. I mean, I guess in a way, if you are in control of it, you wouldn't need to do any of it, right?
yeah. Now where does your paragraph end there? Where does your
But
section end?
then again, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to
No,
cut you off in your thought because you were deep there. I
it's just a
think,
lot to say, I guess.
yeah, I think the next one will give us another example, is it?
Yeah, hold on. Where are we?
14, 14, and your word is there again.
Woe
Oh,
to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. Therefore, you will receive greater condemnation.
mm,
It
so
says
I
text
mean,
omits in you.
yeah. Right. Right. It does say that in the bottom of mine, like in the footnote that it admits this first.
in another
Okay.
version.
And then what's your next one? You have the how far does your thing go? It
I
goes.
got 36 verses until the next part.
Oh, okay. So we just do a few here. There's a long.
Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you travel land and sea to win one proselyte.
Proselyte, yeah. So you travel, sea
Is
and
that like a
you
currency?
land like no proselyte. I think is like someone to bring to a convert to the Jewish
Okay.
so you go like far away and travel miles to just get one, and when
Right.
he is one, you make
You
him
make it.
twice as much of a son of hell as you are, as yourself. You read in your version. I'm sorry, I'm messing up the.
No, it's the same. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you travel land and sea to win one proselyte, and when he is won, you make him twice as much a son of hell as yourselves. So he's like,
They're bringing them to the faith, and then you're corrupting them in a way.
right.
Wow.
Hmm.
I mean, we have to be careful too.
So
I mean,
regardless of it, if you're not leading by example.
yeah, we do need, Lord, help
But yeah,
us.
that is true. Like when you teach people wrong things, well, when you teach anything, you like solidify it more.
Yeah, you slid up more in your own brain too, right? As
Yeah,
well as, and now you're teaching the other person, right?
right.
So
So it
there's
is
a
careful.
bigger responsibility. Yeah,
Well, it's important that you know what you're teaching.
yeah, yeah. We need peace, don't we?
We do need a little bit of peace.